Hello, everyone. Today we are talking all about Silhouette, what these machines are, what they can do, and which one might be right for you. Hey there, I'm Sarah. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad you're here. I have been sharing creative tutorials right here on YouTube for well over a decade. And today we are talking all about Silhouette, which I view as one of the OG smart cutting machines. They are an innovative and very popular cutting machine brand. And I have brought in a special guest, an expert on all things Silhouette, to talk with us and help break down what machines Silhouette offers, what they can all do, because there's a wide variety and they can do a lot of things. We're going to talk about the projects you can make, and if you want to get into this brand, which one might be right for you. Before we dive into our main topic, I want to talk about some deals and specials that are going on this week. If you want to skip this part, just head over to the next chapter and we'll dive into the topic. So it is the first week of February, which means you're going to see a lot of brands talking about Valentine's Day, a lot of pink and red and hearts everywhere. So that's what we've got going on in our specials. So we have, first and foremost, the Lockleek iCraft. I talk about this machine every week. I think it's an excellent budget-friendly way to get into a smart cutting machine. Lockleek is a sister company of HTV Ront, and together they have put together what I'm calling the ultimate bundle. It includes the smart cutting machine, the auto heat press, like the big heat press, and just a ton of HTV, all kinds of patterns and textures, and lots of tools. So you can get this bundle and really just get started with projects right off the bat. So it's priced really well. There's an additional $100 off the bundle, plus there's a free Valentine's Day gift when you purchase it during this sale. The next company is Creative Fabrica. They are running 28 Days of Love this month. So Creative Fabrica is a company that gives you access to hundreds of thousands of graphics and fonts and all kinds of options for designing within their studio. I really like Creative Fabrica to use within my designs. So when I'm creating and I want to bring in elements to make my designs different and unique, I go to Creative Fabrica. You can then take these files and use them with your Silhouette or your laser or whatever machine you are crafting with. Right now, if you don't have a membership and you sign up for one, you are entered to win a machine. So anywhere from a heat press to a Silhouette Cameo, they're giving away a different one every day in February. If you already have a membership and you want to extend it for another year, you are also entered to win. If you're not quite ready to get that membership, you can go and grab the free bundle that they are running today. They're going to be running a free bundle every day in February. So go at least take advantage of that free bundle, see what they have to offer, and then you might want to add that membership on down the road. Excuse me. Let's talk about lasers a little bit. Xtool has been talking about their DTF printer for a couple weeks now. It is a pretty phenomenal machine, and we're seeing more and more videos come out from users on what we can expect from this machine. It's going to officially launch a little bit later this month, so you can buy it. So go take a look at the link in the description if you're curious to understand kind of what this DTF printer can do and if it might be right for you. Now's the time to learn before it officially launches. We Create has a new color of their Vista. It is pink, which is super cute for Valentine's Day. It's great for the month of February. It is the same great, reliable Vista that I have in white. Also comes in blue, but if you want to add some pink to your craft room, this might be the way to go. I do have a giveaway that is ending on February 7th. If you have not yet entered, it is down in the description. I'm giving away a mini heat press, so go enter to win that. And finally, I have launched memberships here on YouTube. This is a way for you as a viewer to support the channel and to get some really good perks out of it. So if you hit that join button right below this video, that little blue button, a video is going to pop up from me and you can learn more about these memberships and see if you want to take part. Today, we are talking with Brenna from Crafting with Brenna. Brenna is a fabulous resource for SVGs and crafting tutorials. Whether you are a beginner or an advanced crafter, she has videos and tutorials that are going to guide you through creating home decor, personalized gifts, and all kinds of projects. She is an avid Silhouette user and designer, and she's here to talk with us about Silhouette today. We're going to get an overview of what machines are offered and what all of the different machines can do, what projects you can make, and if you're interested in a Silhouette, where you might want to start.
Hi, Brenna. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. It's really good to talk to you. We are fellow creatives. We're both crafters. We use machines to bring our projects to life. So, this is going to be a really good conversation.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Awesome. So, yes, we have a lot in common. We use machines. I use Cricut. That has been my go to machine for like 5 years, 6 years. But once upon a time, I started out with a Silhouette. That was my first cutting machine. It was a little portrait, this tiny little thing, and it was phenomenal. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff I can do. But since then, I haven't really kept up with the world of Silhouette, but it has obviously kept going. And I just want to share with my listeners what this company is all about and some of their amazing machines and what people can do with them. So, thankfully, we have you here and you are a Silhouette expert. Um, so hopefully you can enlighten us a little bit.
Yeah, I would love to. I have been using Silhouette, I think I'm gonna say 8 years, I
Okay.
think is the amount of time. I started when I was a young mom, a stay-at-home mom, and I
Hmm.
had 2 kids at that time. I have 4 kids now, but
Okay.
I think that when I became a new mom, I got so sucked up because I wanted to be a good mom, and I had nothing for
Hmm.
my and I was looking around at, like, hobbies to pick up.
Hmm.
And so I remember it was Valentine's Day. My husband was like, "Well, let's just go to Walmart and pick up a cutting machine." And it was like down to the wire. I was like, "Am I going to be Cricut or Silhouette?" And I was like, "You know what? I think Silhouette's the one." So I had my first Silhouette Cameo 3 is
Hmm.
what I started with, and I just loved it. And the more I got used to it, the more I was like, "Oh, I need more machines." And then
Hmm. Hmm.
out and it was like, "Oh, you can cut paper without a mat?" And I was like, "I have to have that." So I got that. And then even better is the Cameo 5 now. I got the
Hmm.
electrostatic mat because now I can cut paper on there and not, like, waste mats. And I love it.
Yes.
So
Oh,
I'm
that is so cool. Nice. So you share your creations. You are not only a Silhouette user, you're a laser user, and you are an SVG designer. And so your brand is Crafting with Brenna. How did you go from being that new mom who was creating with a Silhouette to kind of where you are right now?
So I started out by using a lot of designs from the Silhouette design store. They have a really robust design store at Silhouette.
Hmm.
And so I got they have a little subscription that you can do where you pay a certain amount a month. I don't know what it is now. At the time, it was like $10 a month. And then you get a certain amount of downloads. So I started doing that. And then I started like, these aren't exactly what I want. So I
Hmm.
started pulling things apart and mashing them together. And then
Hmm.
slowly I was like, you know what? I think that I could make my own things. And so it just kind of
Hmm.
snowballed. It got a little bigger and a little bigger. I do a lot on my iPad. I have Procreate that I love to draw in. They also came out
Hmm.
with Adobe Illustrator on the iPad that makes it really easy
Hmm.
to design there. And then I don't know, it just kind of it got out of hand. Now I have a few design shops, and I add as much as I can every week to get
Hmm.
all of my creative ideas out there into the world.
Hmm. Oh, I just love that. And I think it's so cool. Like we have all these resources to find designs, but when you don't find that right one to be able to just kind of make your own, that is so cool. I absolutely love that. So you mentioned a little bit how you got started with Silhouette. You knew you wanted to create something. If we were talking to somebody who has never used a smart cutting machine before, how would you tell them kind of what a Silhouette is and what it can do for them?
So I like to start by kind of talking about the different materials that are really common, like paper and vinyl and heat transfer vinyl and things like that. Usually, if I'm talking to someone that's like another mother, then I'll say
Hmm.
things like, I can make, cards for birthday parties. I can make birthday party decor. I have loved being able to make cool things for class parties in my kids' classes.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
it makes it just so much easier to feel like you're a Pinterest mom without all of the effort of being a Pinterest mom.
I love that. Yes.
And then also it's nice I save money on my home decor because I can make exactly what I want. I'm not searching stores looking for exactly what fits my style.
Mhm.
I can just kind of see it and make my own thing work. So I save money. I mean, not that much money because I keep buying new things, but it's
Yeah.
but it's really nice to be able to see how that kind of enriches my kids' lives and how I can do something for them that makes them feel special. I started out
Mhm.
just cutting vinyl. So I went to a local store that was a vinyl store, but they would sell scrap bundles
Mm. Oh, nice.
vinyl. And I was like, well, I'm just going to make small things anyway. So I don't need a big roll. I can just go get their scrap.
Mhm.
I would get like $1 vinyl roll and I would bring it to my house and I would just try a bunch of things because if I ruined a scrap, then I wouldn't be upset about it. I'm
Yeah.
not ruining my nice vinyl. And so
Yeah.
I
Yep.
so much experimenting. And I think as a beginner, that is key to be like, don't be afraid to mess things up.
Mhm.
Put yourself in a situation where you're like, "Oh, if I mess up this piece of vinyl, then I'll just buy another one." They have them at
Mhm.
every craft store now. You can buy vinyl,
Mhm.
um, and it's not, like, overall, not that expensive,
No.
um,
No.
especially adhesive vinyl. You can get big rolls on Amazon for practically nothing.
Mhm.
You can practice and practice and practice and just, like, let yourself off the hook for being perfect because you're gonna mess up a lot.
Yeah, that is such great advice. Like once you get the machine, it's like, oh, I'm going to make all these things. And then you get frustrated if it's not perfect, which none of us are perfect. And especially when you're starting out and there's so much to learn. So that is really good advice. I really like that. So you touched on some of the like materials you can work with, like vinyl and paper and HTV, which are kind of like the big ones.
Yeah.
So if I get a silhouette and I know that I want to make a t-shirt for my daughter to wear to school, what's the software like in Silhouette? Like if I'm not a designer and I don't know what I'm doing, how easy is that to navigate?
So Silhouette right now just barely rolled out a new software that is mobile
Mm.
based.
Ooh.
So if you don't want to download Silhouette Studio onto your computer, you don't have to. You can use strictly the mobile website. And like it is kind of similar to how Cricut is mobily based.
Okay.
And it has the same kind of like feel to it.
Okay.
Um, so if you want it to be a super simple software process because you just don't have the capacity to learn a robust system, then
Mm-hmm.
there's that option for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can download things from the Silhouette Design Store, or you can upload your own files there.
Mm-hmm.
Or also, if you want to, you can download the Silhouette software, which is a tad more complicated.
Okay.
Um, but personally, I found it not bad. It as if you just want to, like, start small. You don't have to start designing something huge and intricate. You can start with something small, like just typing out your name and, making that, welding the letters together and sending that to cut. Like, you don't have to go crazy at first and just slowly, step by step, get the different functions down and just play with them and see what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great. I have heard such good things about the Silhouette software that it can be a little bit more complicated to use, but that what you can do with it is pretty incredible. Like way more than you can do with Cricut or some of the laser softwares that we see. I even know that laser users that will design in Silhouette Studio and then save their designs from there.
Yeah, so for years and years and years, I only used Silhouette Studio because
Hmm.
it was, I mean, like, honestly, everything that you need is in Silhouette Studio to design files. I have loved it. I designed one of my first designs for my laser. I used Silhouette Studio because I was so comfortable in there. They do a lot of really awesome things. Um, and there's so many shapes to pull from for making things and the files that you can get from the Silhouette Design Store, and you can like take those apart and take elements from those and put them together for what you want. It's been really really nice. I've always loved the Silhouette Studio. If you have a hard time with certain computer systems, like if you need someone to show you how to copy and paste, then it might be frustrating to you and you
Got it.
might go with the mobile version or check out what Cricut has to offer.
Yeah.
But if you're if you're good with computers, if you've been learning on computers since 3rd grade like I have, then I'm sure that you could figure it out.
That's really good advice, and I like that Silhouette offers both the robust software and the app, so you can maybe start with the app if you're a little unsure, and then move into something else. That's really cool. So we talked a little bit about the software and materials. Tell me about right now, kind of what Silhouette has as far as machines. What's out there?
Oh, I mean, it's a vast
Yeah.
array of machines. So we'll start small. They have the
Mhm.
portrait. I think it's 4 that they're on. Portrait 4, because it
Okay.
has its own electrostatic mat.
Oh.
You can clip onto it, but it will only cut 8.5 inches wide. So it'll cut like
Okay.
letter size paper. And then
Mhm.
that's what the electrostatic mat is for. That
Okay.
size. It's like a sheet of letter paper. If you are doing like stickers, then a
Mhm.
silhouette portrait is you're gonna love it. I would 10 out of 10
Awesome.
recommend. Like if you want to start a sticker shop, there's sticker shops that have just silhouette portraits just on these huge racks, and they're just running them all at the same time. It's crazy and awesome. So
That's awesome.
yes, I love it. And then there's the Silhouette Cameo 5 is the 12 by 12-inch size machine that they have right now, and it has
Mhm.
an electrostatic mat that you can plug into the front. And if you guys haven't heard of the electrostatic mat, I'll just talk about that for a second.
Please do, because I've been seeing all these videos and I'm like, I need that in my life. Like a not a sticky mat. It just sounds incredible.
So what it is, it has like 2 little places that you plug it into the front of the machine so it's powered,
Mhm.
and then
Okay.
there's a button on the front that you touch the button, and then the entire bed of the electrostatic mat has it uses static electricity, and it has
Mhm.
a piece of really thin, material on it that they give you with the electrostatic mat to try, and you can
Okay.
change that out if you need to, but it is what holds the static electricity, and then you put your paper or vinyl or whatever on top, and it
Mhm.
holds it down when you hit the button.
Love it.
It's so cool, and then you feed it into the machine, and then when you get it out, you hit the button again, and then the static electricity goes away, and you can pull all
Mhm.
your pieces off the mat.
Oh, that's gotta be amazing for paper. So you're not having all those little pieces of cardstock stuck to your mat.
Yeah, and you can even so the carrier sheet that goes in between, you can even
Mhm.
pick that up and, like, dump all your small pieces on the counter
Oh,
and then
wow.
put it back. So before I would take the sticky mat and I had, like, a scraper that I would, like,
Yep. Yep.
scrape all the little pieces off with, but now I
Yep.
don't have to do that. I literally just hit the button, take that sheet off, dump it off, and then put it back, and it's ready to go again, and it saves so much time.
That is such a game changer so that you can get one for the portrait or the cameo.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, because I
It's
know, like, if you're using a sticky mat, you don't wanna use a new one, and you don't want, like, otherwise it just ruins your stuff. So I love that you can get that for both machines.
Yeah, it has really been so amazing for me, especially since I'm, like, making a lot of things because I'm
Mhm.
going to be posting it up in my shops. So,
Mhm.
I want it to be as quick as I can to get it all cut out, and so I have it all lined up, and the it just makes it so quick and fun and easy, and I love it.
Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, I think that's one of the neatest things that they offer that's different from everyone else.
Yeah. And then they have even bigger size machines, but they don't have the electrostatic mat. So you
Oh.
can get a 15-inch wide cutting machine and you can get a
Mhm.
24-inch, and that's the Pro.
Ooh.
I did have a chance. I went to Silhouette in November and
Mhm.
they were having the launch party for the MK2. And so I got to go up there. I got to use it to make a big mural, and it was so nice to use. It has like
Oh,
a cart that it sits on, so you can like roll it into your closet and roll it back out. And it has
nice.
a lot of extra rollers to really hold your material in place. And
Mhm.
so with other machines that I've used that are the big 24-inch, it's been a little bit hard because if you're doing something very long, then sometimes it can slowly drift, you know?
Mhm.
But this
Mhm.
had so many rollers, it wasn't going anywhere. It was fabulous.
Oh, I love that. So you can go anywhere from you're just starting out or you wanna make small projects with your portrait, all the way up to you're running a decent sized business with the what's called the MK2?
Yeah, mhm.
Yeah, I love that breadth of design that they have because 'cause they're really meeting crafters at, like, every level.
Yeah, it's so great, and even usually when I talk to people and they're like, "Which machine should I get?" I start
Mhm.
by saying like, "What in your head do you see yourself making the most?"
Yes.
And if you're like stickers, then the portrait would be great. Or the
Mhm.
cameo, because the cameo can also, do stickers. If you envision
Mhm.
yourself doing a lot of like murals, or you're doing a lot of like big, large car decals, if you have it in mind that you're going to start a vinyl business, then go straight to the MK2 and get the
Yeah.
24-inch, get the cart. You're going to love it.
Mhm. Mhm.
If you want to make t-shirts, then think about the cameo or
Mhm.
the mid-sized machine. I can't remember what it's called. The 15-inch
Yeah.
machine.
The 15-inch one, right?
Yeah, the 15-inch,
Yeah.
because then you can make the larger full coverage shirts that people are into these days, you know? But you can
Mhm.
do that with the 12. They have really nice in the software, if you upgrade their software, then you
Mhm.
can do tiling in the silhouette
Mhm.
software. So even if it's larger than your machine can cut, the software will cut it down so that you have a little overlap, but then you're only
Ooh.
like a 12 by 12 piece or whatever size you tell it that you can cut with, and then you can tile them all
Mhm.
together. So,
That's nice. I'm listening to you talk and I'm like, these are all the things that I would love in software that I don't have in the software that I use. Tiling is really cool because if you use your smaller machine, that doesn't necessarily limit you on the
yeah.
size of the project that you're making, which is so cool. So I love that you touched on depending on where you're at as a crafter, what machine is going to be right for you. And I love that idea too of what do you want to make? Like before you buy any kind of machine, a laser, a Cricut, a silhouette, it's like, what do you want to make? You don't need to go spend thousands of dollars if you just want to make stickers.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
for
Yeah,
sure.
that's an awesome point. So which ones do you have? Which machines?
So, I mean, I have a Cameo 3, I have a
Okay.
Cameo 4, which are older versions.
Hmm.
Uh, I've loved all of them up until the 5. I just with the new features, you always wanna just go up. So,
Absolutely.
I also have a Portrait 3,
Hmm.
and then I have a Curio 2,
Okay.
and then I have the first version of the Cameo Pro.
Okay. Cool. Do they still make the curio?
So what they've done is it is instead of being a machine, so before you had the sticky mat and you fed it into the machine and it cut that
Mhm.
way. Now it's like a large bed on the machine and
Okay.
the cutting thing moves up and down and over, kind of
Oh,
like a laser, but it's not a laser. It's a curio. So, but you can
yeah.
foil. They have really cool power tools that plug into the curio. So you could like
Okay.
foil Christmas ornaments or foil a Valentine's gift tag and things like
Cool.
that. You can they have one that spins that engraves. So
Oh,
you could
wow.
engrave acrylic on it and get like a really nice engraving on there.
Mhm.
Think of what else it did that it has a leather punch tool.
Ooh.
So I've made a couple, like, little purses, like, little coin purses and some holders for charging cords, that bundle them up. I've made some of those using my leather punch tool
Oh,
to
wow.
together. It's been really, really fun. All the things that the Curio 2 can do is awesome, and I love that since the blade is what moves, you
Mhm.
can when you're done with the cut, you can just try and lift what you've cut, and if it isn't
Okay.
cut through, then you can just start it again, and it's in the exact same spot.
That's awesome. Yeah, that
So
sounds like an open laser. Like, that's exactly what that sounds
yeah.
like, and it
Mhm.
has capabilities that you don't normally see on a smart cutting machine.
Yeah, and it also has the electrostatic bed on it
Okay.
so it'll hold your paper in place by itself. But if you're doing something that has like the more robust tools, then they also have a tray that you can put down over the electrostatic so you don't ruin your electrostatic tray doing other things.
Got it, got it. So you said you could punch leather, they have a foiling tool, and is it a heated foiling pen?
Yes,
So neat. I love that. I
it's
think you
so
get a
cool.
better result with it than just a regular foiling tool.
And so a lot of people, which is so cool, they will get journals that are you have to stay within like 3/4 of an inch around there. Um,
Mhm.
So they'll get journals that are about that thick, and then they'll foil on top of the journal
Oh,
cover. Like, that is
beautiful. Oh,
so
that is so cool. So there's really a lot like you can do with silhouette, but depending on the machines you get, if you were to get a curio, can you cut like cardstock and vinyl with it as well, or do you really need to pair the curio with something else?
Nope, you can cut paper and vinyl. I've cut so many things with my curio. The the downside of the curio is that it is a big machine
Oh, okay.
because the cut area is the 12 by 12, but it's like
Mhm.
sitting on the counter, and then it has to have the space on the outside to hold in the blade that's cutting around and everything. And so it's large. And so I can't like put it in like one of these cupboards is where I like to store
Mhm.
stuff. It doesn't fit. So
Yeah.
I have a desk that it sits on permanently.
Mhm.
But I mean, like if you have like a large closet with large shelves, then you might be able to find a place to store it. But for
Mhm.
the most part, it just sits on the desk, which is fine.
But
It's
yeah, as long
travel.
as you have the room for it.
Yeah. You just have to have the space. If you're a like a kitchen table crafter, then you're gonna have to think about where you're gonna store it before you get it, is the only issue.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So going with something like the cameo or the portrait, you're going to be able to put that in your cabinet, get it off the kitchen table for dinner, and then bring it back out when you're ready to craft.
Yes, I love how portable they are now, and they even have
Mhm.
they have like a roll top lid on it,
Ooh.
so everything's all safe in there, and it's just so easy to take out and put back and take out and put back and travel with.
Mhm.
If you're like on the PTA and you need to go decorate for a Valentine dance or something, you can take
Mhm.
it with you and use
So
it
I love
there.
that.
And I've loved doing that in the past because you always get there and there's just a few details that someone's like, "Oh, well, we missed this." And it's like, "Oh, I'll just cut out
Mhm.
parts and we can cover that up."
Well, that is so cute. And now with like the mobile app, you're carrying even less stuff with you to just
Yeah.
get it done. Oh,
Mhm.
that is so cool. You're like selling me on more machines. Like maybe I need to add silhouette back into my repertoire. The curio sounds so cool, like very different than what I'm used to working with. And I think you could do some really neat things with that.
Yeah, you would love
So
it.
you already, maybe I would. You've already touched a little bit on if somebody was looking at getting a machine, what would they go to first? Do you have a recommendation? Like if you are just a hobby crafter and you want to get started, maybe you want to make a T-shirt, a mug or some stickers. What would you recommend somebody get started with?
So my first recommendation would be to get a Silhouette Cameo 5 with the electrostatic mat.
Hmm.
It's just like basic. You're covering all your bases. You can make anything with it. And I mean, it's endless. It's endless what you
Yeah,
can make.
yeah, that is so cool. And then you're not going a year later. Oh, I need to upgrade, and oh, I wish it had this, and I wish it had this. It's just there. It's built in. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
And I
I
imagine you can
never,
add like tools down the road if you
yes.
wanted to change it out.
So the electric foiling pen works in the Cameo 5.
Hmm.
And another thing that's really cool about the Cameo 5 that we haven't talked about yet is it does have the rotary blade. So
Oh,
you
for
can use that.
fabric.
So if you're a fabric person, you love to
Hmm.
quilt or you want to make some cool fabric crafts, then the Cameo 5 has you covered there because it has the rotary blade and they're really nice to use. They're so fun. I have
Hmm.
had fun making bows for my daughters, making some like felt bows, leather bows, making rolled flowers or felt flowers to put on the bows. It's just so fun.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Oh, cute. Yes, love that. And that you can add it down the road if you think that's something you want to do.
Mhm,
That is really cool. So if somebody is looking to get a silhouette, they can go to the silhouette website, right? I imagine they run sales.
mhm. I think
Mhm.
that right now they have pretty good sales, but I don't know what it's gonna be when this airs. But
Mhm.
they always have some pretty good bundle deals that are fun because
Mhm.
some you get some materials to use with
Mhm.
your machine when you first get it and get to try out some new things that maybe you did thought that you would maybe not be interested in, but it's sent to you, so now's a good chance to use it, and it
Mhm.
helps you come up with new, like, creative ideas. Um, so yeah, another good place do you want to know another good place to get them? Probably.
Yes, please.
I like to check Swing Design
Oh, yeah.
because they always have a lot of good deals, and sometimes if, like, you're on a super budget, they'll have refurbished machines on
Oh,
there,
that's nice.
and so you can get a little bit more of a discount getting a refurbished machine, and I mean,
Mhm.
I have never had any problems with any of my silhouettes, like, they have always been top notch. So I would feel comfortable buying a refurbished machine if I was looking
Mhm.
for a deal.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that idea. And I love the idea of a bundle. And I think with any kind of machine out there that I've ever recommended, I'm always like, get the bundle because it's gonna be cheaper. You're gonna get all the little accessories and those like kind of unique materials that maybe you wouldn't invest in, but then you get it and you're like, this is my favorite thing ever. I want to buy more. But
Yes.
bundles are such an awesome way to go.
I really agree. I One thing is that Silhouette has like sketch pens,
Hmm.
and I would have never bought sketch pens on my own because they're like, "Oh, I
Hmm.
have pens or whatever." But it's so nice sometimes to just pull out a pen and be able to have something right that's not in my handwriting. Like,
Hmm.
let's say if the tooth fairy's coming to town, to
Yep.
just
Yep.
late at night be like, "Oh, I think that the tooth fairy writes with a pink sparkly gel pen." You know?
Yep. I love that. That's such a good idea. When the elf would come to our house, I always did that on my Cricut with that handwriting because my kids are at the age where they're like, "I know your handwriting." I'm like, that
Yep.
wasn't me. Got to get
Uh-huh.
really creative. So it's nice to have those pens.
It is. It's nice to have them when
Mhm.
you're in a pinch.
Yes. So you have some awesome videos on your Instagram page all about Silhouette, kind of teaching us how to do projects. Plus, you have your SVGs in the design store there. So if people want to learn more about Silhouette, if you've convinced them that they need to go get themselves a machine, tell us where they can find you.
So you can find me everywhere pretty much on social media under Crafting with Brenna. And then I have an Etsy shop under Crafting with Brenna. And then you can find me in the Silhouette Design Store under Crafting with Brenna. And then in the Glowforge catalog under Crafting with Brenna.
Awesome. And I will link all of that in the description as well because Brenna is very talented and you're going to want to go follow her. So I'm going to have all those links down below. And you did just mention Glowforge. I have a Glowforge as well. I have an Aura, but Brenna and I are both participating in Laser Craft Fest coming up this spring. It's not until April. Registration opens in March, and we are both going to be talking about it a lot. But Laser Craft Fest is a free 3-day virtual event with like 20 some presenters, and we all share tutorials and workshops on laser projects. There is a whole bunch of freebies, there's giveaways, there's live discussion panels. Like it's going to be really great.
It's going to be so amazing. And if I, one thing I love about it is it is so geared towards the beginner.
Hmm.
So if even you're just thinking like maybe a laser would be fun to have, then
Hmm.
get your free ticket and come because you'll learn so much about what lasers are capable of. You'll learn
Hmm.
about safety using the lasers from the presenters. You'll learn about making it into a business, which is going to be fabulous. I'm really excited to see everyone's presentations.
I love that. Even if you don't have a laser, just come check it out because maybe we'll convince you that you need to have a laser in your life with your Silhouette and your heat press and everything else because they're pretty amazing tools.
Yeah. Or even we might convince you that it's not for you as well. Like it's a good place to
Mhm.
just really get a feel for it because I mean, lasers aren't for everybody. Like they don't fit
You're
into
correct.
everyone's lifestyle. So it's
Hmm.
good to come and get the feel for it before you spend that big chunk of money. Like this
Hmm.
it could save you thousands of dollars if it's not for you.
Absolutely. That is such a good point. Perfect. I am so glad we got a chance to talk today. You have convinced me that maybe I need to get myself a Silhouette. I think they have such robust software. They have some really cool machines that do things that other brands don't do. And I love that we were able to share a little bit more about this. So hopefully people can take away some good information and they can make an informed buying decision going forward.
Ah, I love that. I hope everyone has fun time crafting with whatever you pick is best for you.
Absolutely. Brenna, thank you so much for joining us. And go check out Brenna. All of her links are down in the description, and you can follow along on her journey.
I really loved talking with Brenna today. She just had a wealth of knowledge on Silhouette. And if you go follow her on Instagram or any of her other channels, you will see her tutorials, and she's an excellent teacher. So all of her pages are linked down below. If you want more information on the Laser Craft Fest that we touched on a little bit, sign up for my newsletter. When registration opens in March, you're going to get that link to get your free ticket. And then you can see both of our presentations and all the other presentations that are going to be part of this event. If you would like to be a guest on this podcast, I would love to chat with you. I'm always looking for crafters and small business owners who are experts in a niche so we can share some really cool information with the audience. There's a form down in the description that you can fill out. We are live. This podcast goes live every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Central Time. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next episode. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week.